In this video, we explain the basic concept of NAT and why it's used, and the basic concept of port forwarding and why it's used. So Network Address Translation, or NAT for short, is responsible for converting IP addresses as they pass over the boundary between private and public address spaces via a router, for example. Here's an abstracted diagram of a local area network connected to the internet via a router. All the devices within the LAN on the left have what we call private IP addresses shown in blue, and these are said to be non-routable. All the devices on the internet on the right have what we call public IP addresses shown in green, and these are said to be routable. Note how the router in the middle has two IP addresses, a private non-routable one for use within the LAN, and a public routable one for use on the internet. In this example, we want the computer in the private LAN on the left, highlighted in green, to send a communication to and receive information back from the public web server on the right in blue. As the computer on the left is hidden behind a router and using a private IP address, we need to use Network Address Translation. NAT is a method used to map multiple private IP addresses within a local network to a single public IP address before the information is sent onto the internet. This technique is used widely in both organizational networks and home routers to allow multiple devices to connect to the internet using one public IP address. So let's look at the process. So firstly, the outgoing server request is made by the computer on the private network, and it contains its own IP address and a port number as the source. As the request passes through the router, it logs these as a new entry in its NAT translation table. In doing so, it swaps out the source packet IP address and port number for its own external source IP address and a unique port number. The router then rebadges the incoming response, again identified by its port number, with the original computer's internal address and port number by looking it up in the Network Address Translation table. The packet can then be forwarded onto the correct computer, as the destination IP address is now the local IP address for the device. The terms Network Address Translation and port forwarding are often used interchangeably. However, it's not correct to do so. Although port forwarding is often a product of Network Address Translation, they have distinctly separate definitions. Port forwarding allows specific internet traffic to reach a particular device within a private network, while Network Address Translation modifies traffic addresses for correct internal routing. Essentially, port forwarding is a type of NAT rule for directing incoming traffic to the right device. Having watched this video, you should be able to answer the following key questions. What is the basic concept behind NAT and why is it needed? And what is port forwarding?